Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabrielle if you're new here, and today we are doing a very exciting video. Battle of the Cream Contours Luxury Beauty Edition. I am putting my favorite cream contour up to the test against a new to me cream contour stick by Dior Beauty. Backstory, looking for a cream contour that was cooler than my beloved Westman Atelier cream contour stick in the shade Biscuit. And I think I found it just by swatching in Sephora, playing around. I have a lot of thoughts. We are going to be sharing a price breakdown, the ingredient breakdown, as well as doing a side by side so you can really see how the product looks on the skin and how it compares in color, blendability, etc. Let's first get into the logistics. I'm gonna pull up my notes here because I did a wonderful little breakdown for you all. So first let's just start with the packaging because I feel like the packaging has a lot to do with it. They're both actually quite sleek. We have the classic Westman Atelier packaging, this like kind of short and chubby bullet looking compact with a magnetic closure, which is really nice. Once you open it, you have this like little peak of gold, then the silver kind of chrome top. Very beautiful. I love all of Westman Atelier's products. All of the contour sticks are black. The blushes are this kind of matte gray, and then the foundation is a soft muted pink. The contour stick by Dior Beauty is a beautiful oval cylinder black shape. It's got the CD marked right in the middle where you pop open the cap. Now this clasp is not magnetic, it's a little click. Top of it is really gorgeous. It's got this kind of silvery detail and it's got kind of like that Dior pattern on it that is seen on the Dior lady bags, which I thought was super cute. This one, I believe, by Westman Atelier is made out of a metal. Feels kind of cool to the touch, where this is definitely a plastic, and they're both kind of similar in the fact that they're black and kind of matte. Now on to the pricing. The Dior Forever Skin Contour Sculpt Stick in the shade Light. It retails for $47 USD and 64 Canadian dollars, whereas the Westman Atelier retails for $48 USD and 65 Canadian dollars. So they're just like $1 difference, very comparable in price. Now let's talk about how much product you actually get. So the Dior Contour has a total of 10 grams, whereas the Westman Atelier has a total of 6 grams. While the prices are similar, the actual cost per gram is much different. For the calculation, the cost per gram is $4.70 USD or approximately $6.40 Canadian for the Dior, and the Westman Atelier is $8 USD per gram or $10.83 Canadian dollars per gram. When you're looking at how much product you're getting and the price, the Dior is a little bit more of a bang for your buck. So this claims to have 24-hour wear with continuous hydration. It's non-comedogenic and dermatologically tested. It's waterproof and resistant to heat and humidity. It's supposed to seamlessly blend into the skin with a very creamy texture that fuses into the skin for a supernatural contour bronzed look. Now the Westman Atelier is really creamy, non-drying formula that blends into the skin. It's made with clean, non-toxic ingredients formulated without silicones, parabens, PEGs, phthalates, or synthetic fragrances. This brand is also vegan and cruelty-free. Now both of these actually do have some pretty nice ingredients in them that I want to highlight. The Dior has iris extract, which is known for its antioxidant properties. It's going to help protect the skin against environmental damage and also support and enforce your skin barrier. It also contains hibiscus extract, which is a powerful anti-aging ingredient that helps renew the skin's appearance by promoting cell turnover, which can enhance the skin's radiance, and wild pansy extract, which provides continuous hydration, making it a good choice for those seeking that natural looking contour without drying out the skin. Now, a couple ingredients that I do want to note that are in the Dior Beauty Contour Stick that may be problematic to some people are, one, fragrance. So Dior products often contain fragrance to make them smell good. This can obviously be irritating the skin, potentially cause an allergic reaction. So if you're sensitive to fragrances, then I would definitely maybe stay clear from this one. It also contains silicones, and silicones are those ingredients in makeup products that you either love or you hate them. You may have irritation from silicones, so that's something to note. But silicones in makeup products really help provide that slip, really that smoothing effect. So Westman Atelier obviously focuses on really those clean formulations. Howlin clay? I might be mispronouncing that, but this actually helps to absorb excess oil in the skin, so it's going to be really great for people who have a little bit more oily skin. So it's great for giving that smooth matte finish. It also contains vitamin E, and this is a really potent antioxidant that helps protect the skin against environmental damage, also moisturizing and providing healing properties. Berry Flux Vita, which is raspberry leaf stem cell extract. And this is a really hydrating and plumping ingredient that's going to retain moisture, improve skin elasticity, and give you that youthful complexion while also protecting the skin's barrier. So let's get into our application. I'm going to be using the Hourglass Soft Focus brush, I believe it's called. And I also have this brush cleaner, which I'm going to use in between the two products so there isn't any cross-contamination of the products. This is the Perry & Spirit Professional Makeup Brush Cleaner, and this is great. All you have to do is spray it onto the product, and I just rub it on a paper towel just to get any of the excess product. I think I'm gonna use the Westman Atelier on this side of my face and the Dior on this side. Eyeballs, jawline. It's super creamy, really easy to apply. It really just like glides onto the skin, which I love. We're gonna do a really contoured effect. I'm gonna put it around my lips too, which is a trick that's supposed to make your lips look a little bit more plump. This is the perfect shape. I feel like you can put it flat on your face for a little bit of a thicker line, which I like doing on my temples. And then I also kind of slant it to do a thinner line along the jawline, down my nose. So you can really kind of play with the thickness of your lines based on how you apply it to your face. So the color that is applied onto the skin is very similar to what you see in this tube. Now let's apply the Dior before we blend it all in. The shape of the Dior is this oval shape. If I go ahead and apply this, it's quite large. So I wouldn't again go straight onto my cheekbones. I want that thinner sculpted line. So I'm gonna twist it up and then put it at an angle. This is so creamy, like very buttery, like a soft butter. So a little bit of pressure goes a long way. And again, around my mouth. The Westman Atelier is pulling a little bit more warm, and the Dior is pulling more cool. This has a fragrance. It smells exactly like the face mask, the glow face mask that I used. And I can smell it slightly on my face, but this is a look. In terms of applying it to your face, the Dior is much more smooth. Like, this is very smooth, but something about this is like buttery, like so buttery and smooth. I've never felt such a smooth product before. So it has a ton of glide, so emollient. This is very smooth. Like, you feel like this is gonna be a bit more matte than the Dior. I have my Hourglass beautiful brush here, and we are going to start off by blending out the Dior. And my favorite way to blend this out, oh, I forgot to do my little dot here. we go, is just by kind of stippling, and then we'll blend out after. And I think with cream contours, the best rule of thumb is just to take your time with blending, because that's how it's going to look its best. So we'll do the temples. This one I kind of do pushing motions and blend it up into my hairline for a really natural look. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I've used this product before, so I can kind of note this about it. It swatches and applies really cool. And that was why I was initially so drawn to it when I was swatching it, because I really wanted a cool, shadowy contour. But it is blending out warm, and I don't know if that's just a reaction with my skin or if this is just how it blends out. It warms up in color. I think it's the most bizarre thing, but it's starting to look very similar to the color shade of the Westman Atelier. So that was one thing I noticed that I was a little bit like, huh, about it, because I really was hoping for that cool color that you see when you swatch it. But as you can tell, it's pulling warmer. It blends so easily and it layers really well. So easy to blend, and especially with this brush, it's just going to melt into your skin. My favorite way to blend out jawline contour is with the Westman Atelier liquid blender brush. It's just so easy. We're gonna hug around the jawline and blend it down. Forgot I had it around my mouth. I was like, what is happening? I look like I have a mustache. I don't typically do this, so this is new for me. I don't know how I feel about the lip line contour. So that is one layer. Now I feel like it diffused quite a bit and it looks like just like a bronzy glow. I'm gonna see if I can sharpen this line a little bit more to really define this spot right here. So I'm gonna just add a bit more and tap, tap, tap. So there is our blended out look for the Dior. We're going to blend out the Westman Atelier side before we go into our full comparison and thoughts. Just cleaning off my brush. All right, let's do this. Westman Atelier. Starting with the temples. So initial thoughts when doing the full side by side. While the Dior felt super duper creamy and emollient being applied onto the skin, I actually feel like the Westman Atelier more seamlessly blends into the skin. It just feels a little bit more effortless. I'm gonna go in with that additional contour layer. Try and really carve out that jawline, cheekbones. Like a nice sculpted cheekbone. Yeah, it just blends and melts and like pushes into the skin, I feel like a little bit better. All right, I have thoughts already. I think that the Westman Atelier side actually does a little bit better of a job of sculpting, and once everything is blended, this diffuses a little bit more. It's like even if I try to concentrate the product in one spot, when I start blending it out, it almost just like spreads and I lose that definition. And then when I added more, I still feel like it just kind of went away. Like I look bronzed on this side, but I would say that the Westman Atelier allows the product to melt into the spot where you applied it. So it's giving me a little bit more of that sculpted look compared to this. Now, the other thing I want to note is that Dior Beauty looks so much cooler when swatched, and these shades next to each other look almost identical. Like, I wouldn't really be able to tell from a shade range that these are different products. I can tell that they're different products by the way that they blend out, the way that they melt into the skin and apply onto the skin. So here are the two applied to the skin. Now I feel like to really top this off, I do want to apply my blush just to see how the two products blend into each other. Of course, you're not just applying your contour, bronzer, and then moving on with your day. So I'm going to apply the shade Garçon by Westman Atelier. Just got this as part of my beautiful fall capsule collection, which I have linked down below if you want to watch that. Now, you would expect that the Westman Atelier Contour Stick and blush are going to blend into each other beautifully because I feel like they just are married together. Now let's get into the battle. First thing, let's talk about packaging. Which packaging is more luxurious? Which one do I prefer? And if I'm being honest, I have a really hard time deciding which one I like better because I like them for different reasons. I think that this one does look quite luxurious with the black matte and then the silver top and the CD on it. I think it's very luxe and minimal. The only thing I don't like about it is this. I find that this oval shape is just a little bit too big. I think that the design of this shape is not the easiest to work with for a really sculpted look. I think if you're using it for an overall bronze, it's great, it works fine, but the shape of this, and I think the formula of this makes it just easier to apply with more precision. I like how the Westman Atelier has the metal cap, but it's not like a make it or break it that this is just a click closure. So I think that aesthetically, they're quite equal, but from a design perspective for the actual application process, the Westman Atelier wins. Now price, because they are priced so similarly, one is not necessarily more or less expensive, but when we're breaking it down to the actual amount of product that you get and the cost per gram, the Dior wins by far. You get 10 grams of products, whereas the Westman Atelier you only get 6, and it is essentially the same price. The Dior Beauty wins in that department. Now for shades, these shades are so incredibly similar. Again, the Dior looks much cooler than the Westman Atelier when swatched, but when blended out, for some reason, the Dior is warmer. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a chemical reaction with my skin. What is happening that's making it so much warmer when blended out? So for color, I'm going to have to say the Westman Atelier wins because it's so true to the color when it is swatched, where this is a little bit misleading. I was expecting a cool contour, and when I blend it out, it's not. So for color, Westman Atelier wins just from the fact that it's the same shade, but when blended out, they're really, really similar. In terms of texture, they're quite similar. Like I said, the Dior is a little bit more emollient and slippery and like smoother when applied than the Westman Atelier, which has still really beautiful glide. There's no tugging of the skin at all. It's just like a touch drier, and it's not that it's a dry formula at all. I'm just trying to compare it to the Dior, which is like so emollient, so creamy. Now, when it comes to the blendability, the Westman Atelier wins. I find that it really just melts into the skin, and it also melts exactly where you placed it. Of course, you can diffuse it when you're blending it out with a brush, whereas the Dior, it just kind of like blends and diffuses out to almost like nothing. Like you can see the color, but you lose that definition. I just feel like it doesn't give me that sculpted look that I'm looking for when using a contour. it still blends in like a dream. It's really effortless. You don't have to do a lot of like rubbing or tugging to get the product to melt into the skin, but I almost find that it like diffuses a little bit too much. And then for the final overall look, I have to say that I prefer the Westman Atelier side when looking. I just find that it gives me that sculpted look while still looking really natural and not like a line on my face. It blends beautifully. I just think that it provides a little bit more of what I would expect a contour to give me than the Dior. Now, not to say that I will not use the Dior ever again or that I find that it's not beautiful. It doesn't really do a lot of contouring and a lot of sculpting, which is kind of what I expected with a product that's called Skin Contour Sculpt Stick. I don't think it does really either than just add like a nice kind of bronze to the skin. Let me know what you think. Do you find that this side looks sculpted? I just find that this looks more sculpted than this side. Gives me a little bit more definition. What do you think? The conclusion is that the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit still has my heart. It's still my favorite contour stick that I have encountered and will always repurchase this. It's just so good. Let me know, is there a cream contour stick that you use that you absolutely love that you find could stand up against the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick? If there is, then let me know in the comments because I would love to try it and compare it and review. Again, leave me a comment down below. Let me know which side you prefer. This is our Dior and this is our Westman Atelier. I want to hear your thoughts. Now, if there's a product or two products that you want me to compare and contrast, have another battle against, then let me know in the comment section down below. And if I have the products, I'll be able to do it right away. If not, then give me some time to get the products in my hands. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification if you don't want to miss a video. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.